Guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 11 Episode 7. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. So much went down in this episode and there's so much to talk about, so let's just get right into this review. Now, at the very beginning of this episode, Sierra and Scrappy are in a very heated argument with each other. I mean, they are yelling at each other outside of this club, and the reason why is because Erica and Sierra ended up showing up to an event where Scrappy was at, and Erica ends up going up to Scrappy to confront him because she feels like he put her in a really uncomfortable situation because she was friends with both him and Bambi, and now she feels like she has to pick a side because of Scrappy's actions. Now, things take a turn for the worse during this back and forth because she ends up bringing up that Scrappy allegedly doesn't want to pay child support for the 3 children that he shares with Bambi. This ends up pissing off Scrappy to the point where the two of them are yelling at each other, and Deb is there and she's telling Scrappy that he needs to stop putting his business out there, and he ends up blaming Bambi. Now, this pisses off Erica when Scrappy blames Bambi for why their business is out there, and Erica ends up blurting out that it's actually Mama D who's putting all his business out there. Now, this pisses off Scrappy to the point where him and Erica are standing up yelling in each other's faces, and Scrappy basically threatens to tell something that he knows about Erica's oldest son that nobody else knows about, and so this turned into a really messy situation, and they ended up going outside of the event. Now, they all end up walking outside of the event and they're all yelling and screaming at each other, and Sierra ends up jumping into it and she starts blaming Mama D, saying that it's Mama D's fault that all of this drama is happening because she's the one that's too involved in all of their business. And she starts arguing with Scrappy, telling Scrappy that Mama D is the one who went around telling everybody that he got Diamond pregnant. And so him and Sierra are yelling back and forth with each other, and things get really heated to the point where she puts her arm out, like she stretches her arm out and she has her hand kind of close to where he's standing at, and he pushes her arm out of the way and calls her a bitch. And so things get really messy between the two of them, and it was just a really intense situation. And honestly, I feel like everybody could have handled this situation a lot better than they did. I feel like Erica should have never went up to Scrappy and confronted him about anything because she did say that Bambi told her not to, but I also feel like Scrappy shouldn't have reacted the way that he reacted, because at the end of the day, if he knows that he's not doing anything wrong and he knows that the information that's going around is not true, I don't feel like he should have engaged in an argument with these ladies. I do feel like Bambi has to be careful who she vents to, because her venting to Erica probably wasn't the best idea, because Erica is the one who got all the drama started at this event because she went up to Scrappy and started confronting him. And so Bambi needs to be very selective of who she opens up to about things. But I also feel like Scrappy is yelling at everybody but the person who should be getting yelled at, because Mama D is a huge part of the problem. And I honestly don't feel like any woman that Scrappy gets with is going to work out, because Mama D is going to ruin things. She's too involved in their business, and you know, she's running around here spreading rumors, and Scrappy's sitting over here getting mad at everybody else for telling him that it's his mom that's the problem. And it's like, why is he getting mad when he knows for a fact that his mom is the problem, because he's confronted his mom before in the past about the way that she behaves. And so I just don't understand why he's yelling at everybody else for rumors that his mom is going around spreading. And so I just feel like all of them are messy in this situation, and I do feel like Sierra should have stayed out of it. Sierra's probably still dealing with whatever she's going through with Eric, and so that's the reason why she's getting too involved in this situation. But I just feel like everybody's making it worse for Bambi and Scrappy, because it's not really Bambi and Scrappy that's the problem, it's everybody else, because they're getting too involved. Mendeecees ends up telling Yandy in this episode that his mom is really upset with him because of the interview that he did with Shannon Sharpe. Now, during the interview with Shannon Sharpe, he was talking about his time as a drug dealer, and he said that he had one time put his mom up for collateral, and so that's why his mom is upset. And I can understand why she would be upset about that, because number one, who would want to be put up for collateral? And two, why would you want the world to know about that? And so I can definitely understand why she's upset, but Mendeecees feels like he was just trying to give an honest interview and really trying to bring awareness to what goes on when you drug deal. And I can see both sides of things, because I understand wanting to be honest when you do an interview, but you also have to think about who you might hurt with what you say. Safari, because he has a tendency of saying a little bit too much sometimes. Because when he was on couples retreat with Yandy, he also said too much when he said that, you know, if Yandy was the one who went to jail, he doesn't know if he would have held her down the way that she held him down. And so that was embarrassing to Yandy as well. And so Mendeecees does have to be careful what he says when he does these interviews. But at the same time, I do applaud the honesty, because I would rather somebody be honest to me than lie to me because they want to make sure that they don't hurt my feelings. Spice ends up going to the doctors because she's supposed to get her stent removed, but then she ends up finding out that she can't get her stent removed because she has another hernia. So not only does she have to get another hernia surgery, but she also has to get her gallbladder taken out. So that's 2 more surgeries that she has to have. And I really feel for Spice right now, because she's really going through a lot this season with her health. And it's a really scary time to be in when it comes to her health, because, you know, she was in the hospital fighting for her life, and now she felt like she was on the road to recovery, and now she has to go get more operations. And so I definitely am sending positive energy to Spice at this time, because she really was going through a lot while this was filming. Jessica White ended up inviting some of the ladies to a yoga retreat so that they can get to know each other a little bit better, and the ladies immediately end up bringing up what went down at Carly's daughter's gender reveal party, because Rennie Rucci was at the gender reveal party and she saw Safari and Jessica White talking, and she felt like they were being flirtatious, and she made sure to make this known to all the other ladies that were at the gender reveal party. And so Jessica White immediately starts saying that her and Safari were not flirting, and that Safari was being a little bit flirtatious with her, but she made sure to let him know that she knew his wife. Now, the reason why she made sure to let the ladies know that she told him that she knows his wife is because Erica was sitting right there at the yoga retreat. Now, Erica was not really buying it, and she ended up asking Jessica again if she was sure that she wasn't flirting with Safari, and Jessica made it clear that she wasn't flirting with him, but that she does have a very flirtatious type of personality. Now, I personally was confused as to why the ladies brought this up at the yoga retreat, because at the end of the day, Erica and Safari are not together anymore. They're divorced. And I don't understand why Erica was questioning Jessica on whether or not she was flirting with Safari or not, because they're divorced. She shouldn't care what Safari does or who he does it with, as long as he's not with her making her life miserable anymore. She really should not care. And I also feel like Erica is not completely healed from the situation between her and Safari, and I feel like that's why she's prying a little bit too much into Bambi and Scrappy situation. But I feel like Erica should not care what Safari does at all. I feel like she needs to focus on herself, her happiness, and her children, because at the end of the day, she's not really doing bad in life. Like, she's been doing a lot of movies for Tubi, and I know that people make fun of the movies on Tubi, but she can get, you know, the experience for being on Tubi, and then she can probably be in another movie at some point that doesn't have anything to do with Tubi, and I feel like that's what she should be focused on. The only time she needs to care about who Safari is sleeping with is when he gets serious with somebody and he wants them to meet their children. That's when she needs to care. It's the day of Chaotic's video shoot, and he ends up inviting Erica Banks and Amy to be in the video, but he tells them both separately that they would both be the leading lady for the music video. Now, when Amy ends up showing up, she sees Chaotic all over Erica Banks, and obviously it upsets her because she thought that there was something between her and Chaotic, but yet she sees him continuously all over Erica Banks. Now, I really do hope that the two of them don't end up falling out over Chaotic, because at the end of the day, Chaotic flirts with everybody, and I don't think that they should ever let a guy like him break up their friendship that they were trying to build with each other, because at the end of the day, Chaotic is going to give attention to whoever he wants to give attention to and whoever he wants to flirt with, and I don't think either one of them should be with him. Sierra ends up showing up to Chaotic's video shoot as well, because she was invited to be a part of the video too, but she didn't come there to be a part of the video. She came there to confront Chaotic. She ends up confronting Chaotic, and she tells him that she feels like he was wrong because he didn't try to break up the fight between her and Scrappy. Now, Chaotic feels like he didn't need to try to break it up because it didn't have anything to do with him and he didn't want to get involved, and he feels like Erica and Sierra should have minded their business. Now, I agree with him when he said that Erica and Sierra should have minded their business, because I do think that they're way too involved and too invested in Scrappy and Bambi's lives. But I do feel like he should have tried to de-escalate the situation between, Sierra and Scrappy. But they did end up showing the clip of him actually trying to break it up. He did get between the two of them at one point and tried to break it up, but they would not stop arguing, so he decided to just wash his hands clean of the situation. But I do feel like he probably should have got Scrappy up out of there, because what if things would have turned physical? I mean, it wouldn't have been on him if things got physical between him and Sierra. That would have been Scrappy's fault if he would have put his hands on Sierra. But at the end of the day, I do feel like since Chaotic is friends with both of them, I feel like he should have tried to get one of them out of there. At the very end of this episode, Yandy and Rashida end up going out to lunch with Spice, and they can tell that something's wrong when she walks into the restaurant, because you can tell all over her face that there's something that's bothering her. And so she lets them know that she has another hernia, and so she has to get another surgery, and she gets really emotional about it. Now, while she's talking to them about her own health situation, she ends up getting a FaceTime phone call from her daughter in Jamaica, and her daughter's face is completely swollen. So this scares the hell out of Spice, to the point where she ends up running out of the restaurant, and she starts talking about how she needs to get a flight to Jamaica. She breaks down crying on the side of the road because she just feels like everything is going wrong in her life. And I just feel so bad for Spice in this episode, because I just feel like at this point she was going through so much. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I am finally past 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate you all for that. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.